These past couple of weeks have been definitely some to remember, but I have never been more blessed to be a part of the MTCS community. On Monday, your teachers met together in order to find and figure out a way to give you some knowledge, to educate you, and a lot of work was done over the weekend with our technology and administration team. And when we walked in together on Monday, you felt God's presence. You felt attitudes needing to work, knowing what we had to do. And while for some of us, the technology part may not be as comfortable, we saw each other study each other's hands and work together so that we could work towards a common goal. There's a part in Exodus 17 that I've come across in the last few weeks that have really hit home to me. And it's whenever the Israelites have just left the Red Sea and they come up to one of their big first enemies. And the enemies are the Amalekites. And Moses had his rod that had just hit the water with the rock. And as he's going, Joshua's down with the people and they're fighting these big enemies. It's been their enemies for a while. And as Moses was holding up his rod, the Israelites would win. But as the rod went down, they would lose. But imagine holding your rod up for that long of a period of a day. That would get tiring. That would get consuming. And his hands became heavy. As a matter of fact, it tells us in Exodus 17 in verse 11, and so it was when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands became heavy. So they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. And Aaron and Hur supported his hands, one on one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. So Joshua defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Our theme for this year is surrounded, and what a better time for us to come together and help steady each other's hands, which is going to be us having to look out among our people and figure out what people need. When we work towards a common goal and have a common one in mind, everyone's different talents can come out, and that's exactly what's happened. Another verse to show you and to leave us with is one that has really just spoken to my heart this week, and that's in Zephaniah. Zephaniah, a lot of what they were going through during that time period, the people were hurt, but a lot of it was self-imposed. But in the last part of that verse, in chapter 3, in verse 17, the Lord your God is in your midst. The mighty one will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing. Our God is in our midst in the middle of these trying times. He's there and he will quiet us.